So, who are you and where are we?
My name is Nicholas Rice-Saputo, and I race cars.
A big commitment from Rice-Saputo. Touch there.
But Rice-Saputo, he knows he's been in a motor race, impassive. As Rice-Saputo now has a look to the inside. Whoa.
Slide to the inside. After break. Oh, look at this touch, and here comes Rice-Saputo to the outside.
What a Sammy move by Nicholas.
He's pretty confident.
But Nicholas Rice-Saputo celebrating.
Absolutely remarkable here, but that's how a championship is won. You are a champion, bud.
I've had a passion for motorsports ever since I was 7 years old. My dad had the privilege to put me in karts when I was real young. I really enjoyed that for a time, but for some reason, I'm not sure why, I stopped around like 10 years old and didn't kart or didn't do anything for like 11 years. It wasn't until 2021 where we had a local track that my dad always used to go to and race. I used to grow up and watch him race. He ended up buying a spec Miata because someone at the club had it, and I started driving that and really enjoyed it, and figured out that I could actually do this. It wasn't until like early 2022 where I was invited to do a Champ Car endurance race at that home track, and the rush of getting in that car for the first time was unbelievable. And just being able to compete at the level that we did, we were running in third place the whole race. We were going to get a podium the first race, and the car broke right at the end. But after that moment, I was hooked. Wheeling MX5 Cup is the most electric racing out there, really. Low horsepower cars, spec cars, everyone's on an even playing field, and a lot of the best drivers that I've ever seen race MX5 Cup. Being an MX5 Cup driver would mean the absolute world to me. Being able to call myself a true pro and compete at the highest level of low horsepower momentum driving spec class would just be an absolute dream. I should be selected to be part of this Mazda shootout because I've been a Mazda ambassador for the last 2 years. I'm known on social media as the spec Miata guy. I have the most followers, the most views. I got over 20 million impressions in the last 2.5 years just posting my Miata content. And I'm a true ambassador for the sport, and I've brought in many people to our team. I've added, just today, I just talked someone into buying a spec Miata. I've had multiple people DM me saying, how can I get into racing? I'm just trying to share my passion with the world, and that's why I post the content that I do. Over the last 2.5 years, I've proven that I've been able to get so many eyes on this sport. Getting over 20 million impressions in the last 2.5 years between all my social media platforms has really proven that I can do this. And I have many real-world accolades to back me up. I've raced in Champ Car, WRL, the SCCA with multiple race wins. Beyond the real-world experience, I have a lot of time in the sim. Being a 1% MX5 Cup driver on the iRacing platform, multi-time iRacing Racing Prodigy Search Selection finalist, and also the Full Send Sims iRacing Esports Spec Miata champion, and the Full Send Sims iRacing Esports SMX runner-up this last season. Another cool opportunity that I took was I have a great relationship with Carter Fartuk from Skip Barber Racing, and I wanted to be a coach so I could share my passion with the next generation of drivers. I've gotten to coach my own set of drivers at Laguna Seca and Sebring International Raceway. Above all, I think I should be selected because I'm the full package racing driver. My on-track approach to success begins before I ever even make it to the track. So I clock in probably 1,000 laps before I even make it to the track, collecting data, track notes, break points, turn-in points, everything that I need before I get to the track. So I also even go into racing situations like with my friends. So like if you're on the outside of this corner, on the inside of that corner, what's the optimal approach? I've already been through all of the scenarios. Another thing that I would contribute my success to is going back through data session after session and just reviewing where I could brake deeper or take more speed into the corner. I'm very competitive and I want to be the best. So if someone's braking a little later than me, I get upset with it. So I just try to figure out every edge that I can with my driving style. I don't let anything compound on race days. So if I get a bad quali, I just move on and figure out what the next task is. So I don't let anything weigh me down on a race day. So I eliminate all distractions and just do the work. Another thing that contributes to my success is the team that I have built around me. A lot of times I'm doing most of the work on the car, but it's great to have Mihai in my corner. He's been with me for the last 4 years, and we really just built a great team, and it's a very family atmosphere. We're not the greatest, most advanced team. We don't have the best cars. We work with what we got, and we do a really good job. After hearing that I was invited to the shootout, I immediately called Rom, and they were super excited and already agreed to run the car. So I know I will be able to get out on track and have a team that will support me. I also have a great relationship with Nick from Hendricks Motorsports, and he has also reached out to me and agreed to run the car for next year. I have a couple options. The final thing that I value is my approach and how I go racing. It's very patient, it's very mature, it comes from a lot of years of experience, and I can't write off a car, for one race and not be able to race the whole season. So it's really allowed me to have some really, really good racecraft. And I think that mentality has led me to a lot of on-track success. I feel like I'm doing way more off the track than I'm doing on the track because there's so much limited time to being actually on the track. But it takes a lot to get on the track. I touched on it earlier, but my social media presence is really what I'm known for and my strong suit. On Instagram, I have about 15,000 followers organically. Facebook around 8,000, TikTok around 4,000. I think the thing that really moves the needle for me is averaging around 2 million views per month. New eyes on the sport. And that came from a lot of discipline. I post 15 times per month, regardless. If I have the content, if I have the content, I post 15 times per month. Having the success that I've had growing the Instagram showed that I can do it, and now I'm taking the initiative to help the teams that I'm a part of while I'm running with them. So previously I ran with Dwayne Nair Motorsports running the Spec Racers, and I was able to build him a social media page and get him some clients. And I'm also doing the same thing for Rom Motorsports as well. Just giving value to the people that give me value. I could be the best racer in the world, but if you don't have the funding, you're not going to be on the track. Currently, my day job is in the logistics field, and it's allowed me to build a lot of relationships with some of the biggest companies in the space, such as Pilot Flying J, Loves, Lytics, Samsara. I have personal relationships with all these big brands. This program and this opportunity really can give some value to those companies that I work with. And right now, I'm actively reaching out to them with a pamphlet that I just made. Getting to be on the IMSA stage brings a lot of value and gives me total confidence that I'm going to be able to convert on a lot of the personal relationships that I already have. Being in the logistics industry in the last 8 years and building the relationships that I had, me and my brother saw a need that we were able to fulfill. So we started FSR Fleet Services together, and we've grossed over $1.4 million in the last year and a half since we started it. And it's really been a journey. And I think it's proven to the world that if I see an idea, I can execute on it and create value. Beyond the success we've had financially, it's really cool to be working so closely with my brothers because they know that I have this passion and this dream, and they've supported it. Everyone here in this building has supported it. They have to see my race car every day on the lift, hear drills being drilled and everything, and they know it's because I love this. I would represent Mazda well because I already do. I've already brought so many people to this sport and so many eyes and attention. Beyond just the social media, I understand that racing is just a big business at the end of the day. And running my own over the last year and a half has given me the opportunity to learn many skills that I can apply to not just being a racing driver and representing the Mazda brand well. Mazda has been at the center of my racing journey, and whether I get this opportunity or not, I will still represent the Mazda brand well.